Fox Business host Charles Payne weighed in on the Tamir Rice case with his panel, and they said silly things.
You know, Rod, with the Ferguson effect, today we had the Tamir Rice situation where no charges were filed, and then over the weekend in Chicago, a 55-year-old woman was shot and killed by the police accidentally, as well as a teenager who apparently was mentally disturbed. How can we get through these things that are going to happen? I mean, you know, you're simply going to have these incidents happen and still be able to let the police do their jobs without any kind of real serious ridicule or sort of things like Black Lives Matter, because it feels like it's a catch-22 right now.
Well, it does, Charles, and it's unfortunate what happened. I mean, that situation in Cleveland was clearly a training issue. You had a police officer that really should not have even been on the force. But, you know, going forward, when we look at Ferguson, when we look at Baltimore, you know, we have to do a better job at supporting our police, and we have to get these politicians out of the way. Look at Rahm Emanuel. You want to know what's wrong in Chicago? Just simply take a look at Rahm Emanuel. You want to know what's wrong in Look at de Blasio. I mean, we have to get these politicians out of the way, Charles. Let cops do their jobs. Communities and policing need to come together. I think we can do it, but we have to do it with real leadership. And the real leadership, Charles, is going to have to start at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
He somehow connected that to Obama at the end. I don't even know how that's possible. What are you saying? That was just word salad. Something, I don't know. Leadership starts with Obama. Fucking Obama. He's got nothing to do with this. I go after Obama all the time when he does shit that's wrong. Everybody knows that. I get shit for it oftentimes. But this had nothing to do with him. He's like, Obama leadership, enough said. No, not enough said. That's ridiculous. And then also, I mean, look at these little gems here. They throw out this, you know, red meat to the conservative base in the most absurd ways. Support our police. Hey, gotta let them do their job. Yeah, but that's the problem. The problem is, what happens when they do something wrong? What happens when they become the criminals? What do we do then? Well, these guys have an answer. Support the cops. Gotta untie the politicians from controlling them. Yeah, you know, that's the problem. The problem is they have too much leeway. You know, you need to give them more freedom to maybe kill some more people. That's what's happening. I don't, like, they can't help but revert back to their talking points. And they're, at the beginning, the guest made some decent points. He said, well, you know, the training is the issue. True, so let's address that. He goes, you know, this guy shouldn't have been on the force anyway. True, so let's address that. But then no, he takes the two decent points, promptly crumples them up, throws them in the garbage, and then goes on to, gotta support our police and let them do their jobs and untether the politicians from controlling them. No, but that's the opposite point of the two somewhat reasonable things you said. If the issue is the training, finish the thought. What's the logical conclusion? Okay, redo the training. De-escalation tactics should be at the top of the list. The top of the list. Hey, this guy shouldn't have been on the force. Okay, so say we need more regulation and new standards to prevent people who were previously fired from police jobs for being mentally unstable from getting police jobs again. That's what happened with this guy. He had a mental breakdown at a shooting range because his girlfriend broke up with him, and this is the cop that ended up killing Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old carrying a toy gun. Finish the thought. He makes two decent points, then goes right to the opposite points. Support the cops. Let them do what they want. And then fucking Charles Payne, quote, let the police do their jobs. I don't know how anybody could watch what happened with Tamir Rice, and that's the thought that comes to mind. The thought that comes to mind should be, okay, something's wrong. Something's wrong. That guy did that, killed a 12-year-old within 2 seconds. When the 911 call, they said, it's probably a fake gun. Showed up, killed him within 2 seconds, and his gut instinct is protect the cops. Let the police do their jobs. What about the fucking citizens? What about, who are they supposed to protect and serve? The citizens. You can't have an armed police force that becomes the criminals, and then when they do a criminal act, no accountability. They're above the law, no justice. And that's what happened here with Tamir Rice. You have an officer who's guilty, who did it, not even an indictment. It's not even like it went to trial and then, hey, not guilty. No, not even an indictment. Didn't even get to trial. So they threw the case. They threw the case because the prosecutor knows the cops and is buddy-buddy with the cops. You need special prosecutors in these instances, and your gut instinct shouldn't be protect the cops. Your gut instinct should be, hey, justice, no matter what. when there's a problem in the other direction and some crazy armed person kills a police officer, I want justice in that case. I want justice. I'm not just, team anti-cop. No, if there's injustice done against a cop, of course I want justice. But by the same token, when you flip the script, I don't want to let the cops get away with it. I don't say shit like, let the police do their jobs after a police officer killed a 12-year-old who had a fake gun. That's your gut response? That's beyond sickening.